The day the galaxy learned to fear humanity did not begin with a battle, or a political dispute, or even a misunderstanding. It began with a broadcast. A silent, sickening broadcast. Across thousands of worlds, across trade stations, frontier outposts, wormhole gates, and military networks, a single video override took hold. The symbol of the Galactic Empire flickered, an obsidian crown over 3 stars, followed by a cold announcement. Judgment for the insurgents is complete. Let this serve as a warning to the human species. Then the images came. A row of 20 human women, researchers, diplomats, colonists, hung lifeless in a dim metallic courtyard on the Empire's capital moon. Their crime, according to the broadcast, refusing to surrender human territory to the Empire. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. Humanity watched in horror. And then, humanity answered. Beginning, the quiet before the fire. Commander Rylan Ward was aboard the UNS Valiance when the broadcast hit. For a moment, he thought it was a deep fake. It had to be. No species in the modern age violated the Interstellar Sentient Rights Accord so openly. But then the camera zoomed out. And he saw the Empire's royal guards. He saw the unmistakable sigils. He saw the cold precision of a government that did not fear consequences. Around him, the bridge crew froze, every officer pale, furious, shaking. Lieutenant Mara Chen whispered, "Sir, they killed civilians. Our civilians." Rylan swallowed hard. "Get me the Admiralty." Humanity had known war before, but nothing united them like this. Within an hour, the United Human Colonies entered an emergency session. Within 3 hours, they unanimously declared the Empire an existential threat. Within 6 hours, every human fleet was mobilizing. And by dawn cycle of the next day, a message was sent to the Empire. You have committed an unforgivable act. We will respond. The Empire laughed. They underestimated humanity. Everyone always underestimated humanity. The middle, when humanity stopped being the weak species. The first strike came from the humans. The Empire expected diplomacy, or fear, or negotiation. Instead, they got Operation Black Star. Commander Rylan led the Spearhead Fleet, 7th Armada, into the Talarax system, one of the Empire's most fortified strongholds. The Empire believed it was invulnerable behind its quantum shields and planetary cannons. They believed wrong. Human scientists had spent decades perfecting a weapon no one else dared touch, the Fold Ripper, a device that tore microscopic slits in space-time, destabilizing shielding frequencies. It was banned technology. Illegal. Unthinkable. Humanity didn't care anymore. With a single shot, the Talarax defensive grid collapsed like glass struck by a hammer. Rylan's ships surged in. Target the command citadel, Rylan ordered. Leave no military asset intact. Bright oceans of plasma fire washed across the Empire's stronghold. Dreadnoughts cracked open. Orbital platforms fell in burning arcs. Human soldiers fought with a ferocity that bordered on myth, silent, efficient, merciless. Within 5 hours, Talarax fell. Within 10, every Empire system within 2 jumps surrendered. News rippled across the galaxy. Humanity was not just retaliating, they were dismantling the Empire piece by piece. The Empire strikes back. Rage and arrogance drove the Empire to answer with overwhelming force. They deployed their most feared weapon, the Vraxan legions, towering bioengineered shock soldiers bred only for war. On the frozen world of Serinth V, the Vraxan descended in tens of thousands, ripping through outposts with claws that could slice steel. Human marines were outnumbered 6 to 1. The Empire expected an easy victory. But humanity had changed. Rylan arrived with the 9th Adaptive Brigade, the unit infamous for impossible survival stories. They used drones like hunters, exosuits like second skins, and tactics that ignored the rulebooks entirely. The battle lasted 37 hours. When the blizzard lifted, the snow was carved with trenches of molten earth, burning wreckage, and fallen bio-beasts. And at the highest ridge stood human soldiers, blooded, frostbitten, exhausted, but alive. A soldier murmured, as the Empire retreated in disbelief. They didn't think we'd fight this hard. Rylan replied quietly, they killed our women, our civilians. They have no idea what we are willing to do. The galaxy watches in fear. For centuries, humanity had been seen as a young species, clever, ambitious, but physically weak compared to reptilian war clans, insectoid hive forces, or psychic empires. The Empire especially mocked humans for their emotional nature. Now, those same emotions fueled an indomitable fury. As human fleets advanced, world after world fell. Empire governors surrendered preemptively, terrified of what the Terran war machine would do if they resisted. Other species watched and whispered, humans should never have been provoked. They are capable of mercy, until you take it away. They don't fight for conquest. They fight for justice, and that makes them unstoppable. 3 neutral alliances petitioned for peace on behalf of the Empire. Humanity refused. Rylan remembered the broadcast every night. He remembered the lifeless bodies. He remembered the message the Empire sent. Let this be a warning to the human species. Well, humanity had received the warning. And they responded with a storm. The turning point. Humanity's darkest decision. But war has a cost. And even justified fury can consume the soul. 6 months into the war, humanity stood at the gates of the Empire's capital system. Their last defensive fleet, massive, ancient, and armed with sun-cracking weapons, blocked the approach. A direct assault would kill millions. Then Admiral Saren, Rylan's superior, arrived with a chilling order. We're authorizing the Starfire Protocol. Starfire, a weapon designed to collapse a star into a controlled singularity. A system killer. A last resort. Rylan felt sick. Sir, there are billions of civilians in that system. They supported the regime. They allowed the atrocity. The Empire must be erased. Rylan clenched his fists. We can't become monsters to punish monsters. Saren stared at him. Humanity demands vengeance. But Rylan knew vengeance without restraint leads to extinction of the soul. That night, he made his choice. He stole command of the Valiants, seized control of the fleet via emergency override, and transmitted a message galaxy-wide. Humanity seeks justice, not genocide. The Empire leaders will answer for their crimes, but their civilians will be spared. The galaxy gasped. Admiral Saren called him a traitor, but millions across the stars hailed him as the voice of human honor. The final assault, justice, not annihilation. Rylan led the assault on the capital without Starfire. It was the largest battle in galactic history, thousands of ships clashing in brilliant arcs of fire. Empire warlords fought with desperation, human forces fought with grim resolve. In a daring infiltration run, Rylan and a strike team stormed the Imperial fortress. They captured the Emperor, the ministers, and the officers responsible for the execution of the human women. The Emperor sneered. You think this ends here? Humans are emotional fools. Rylan answered, we are emotional. And that's why we will never become like you. The Empire surrendered unconditionally. The war was over. Humanity had won. Ending, a new galaxy, A new humanity. Trials were held. The architects of the atrocity were sentenced by a coalition court, not by vengeance, but by law. Humanity rebuilt the shattered worlds. They helped liberated species form their own governments. They broke the empire's chains without forging new ones. When asked why humanity stopped short of total destruction, Ryland gave the answer recorded in history. Because the moment we stop being better, the moment we stop choosing justice over revenge, we become no different than the ones we fight. The galaxy came to respect humanity, not out of fear alone, but because humans showed strength without losing their soul. And every year, on the anniversary of the broadcast, humanity honors the 20 women whose deaths changed the fate of the galaxy. They were not soldiers. They did not fight. But their courage awakened the storm that broke an empire.